as a team with nothing to lose, because if they perform like a team that has nothing to lose, they could definitely upset some teams like Nouns, definitely like Party Astronauts. I don't know about Wildcard. Wildcard's my team to watch right now. I would say
agree.
they're probably my favorite coming into this close qualifier. So maybe not to upset them, but pretty much everyone else, it is a possibility. And we are into the action at long last, ladies and gentlemen. NRG versus Nouns, the opening map of Inferno. Nouns on the T side to start things off on this dismal map, according to their statistics. Straight play up towards the middle, it looks like for both teams. Carson jumping into his underpass does a lot of damage. Junior's the one to start things off right, though. Lots of USPs still sitting around as well. Carson dodging and buying time for his teammates to swing. It's chaos in middle, but it ends Carson getting the final kill. Junior 3 in the round, and a succinct pistol for Nouns in about 10 or 15 seconds.
Yeah, it was all a mid-scrim, and the USPs lost out at range, which is not what you expect to see. And definitely not what NRG want to kick off the game with. A pistol round loss, giving Nouns some early momentum. They're going to force back to try and begin the buyback wars, the economic damage, and just hope they can stem the tide early. If you give Nouns some confidence in the early going, give them a solid T side, things can get very dangerous and very dark for NRG early on. Again, very early, but there's lots to like from what we just saw from Nouns, and if they can continue that forward in this T half early, things will only get better and better from them. They do have 3 SMGs as well, which might actually be quite good considering it's CZs for the most part on the other side, and that is not a one-shot headshot against the stuns. CZ up close and personal will lose the first and second fight. Contacted out towards Mirage. Good Molotov for OC, but he somehow escapes with 2 before burning alive. That's good damage. It is just the MAC-10s dropped. Now the A site is open, barring the rotations of Nitro and Hexed. But overall, the MAC-10s were what Nouns could afford to lose.
Yes, they were. They were necessary casualties. They knew that if something was going to drop, it should be an SMG. Very interesting seeing the bulk of NRG swap to the CZ rather than the 5.7. That's quite a capable pistol, but the CZ, very fickle. Only 24 bullets total. You know, wild and crazy spray.
Mm-hmm. I've taken to having both available.
I had them both as well. I used the CZ as more of a troll gun than anything.
Yeah, I just honestly don't remember the last time I bought the CZ.
But regardless, it has gotten some indirect buffs as of late. I believe the kill money is now 300. It was 100 before.
Well, it used to be a lot more overpowered, too, back in the long days past and go.
Oh, yes. 20-round magazine.
One-shot headshot.
One-shot headshot.
Pocket AK.
Terrorists win. 3 will survive. The CZs will save as well with their armor. A little bit of utility on the belts as well. Nouns converting their pistol round victory. Now looking to win the third as well, as it is going to be a save from the NRG camp.
P250 for Breeze makes sense. A little extra firepower. Smoke for automatic will give them a little bit of cover. OC P250 flashbang. The 2 CZs will be where NRG will try to get the most of the damage done. Drop those over after upgrading. That's the goal. I like that deep smoke. Try and push it around. There's 8 games right around the corner, and Carson's going to do so much damage. Not quite going to kill. Great flash. Keeps him alive, though. Nitro goes forward. Cannot finish the job. Breeze one, but only one. Traded back by CJ. Lurking up towards T Apartments. An automatic with a USP and that smoke in hand. The last one standing up against a mountain on the other side. He should be put down momentarily by Russians and MAC-10. He'll turn around the corner. Dispatch his former teammate. And so 3-0 on the board for Nouns before the guns come back in the favor of NRG. A pretty critical gun round of the early going here for the CT side is getting reset here. Would definitely temper most expectations for them on this map.
So would NRG lose this rifle round, it means it'd be a save. Likely at 0-5 down before they get another rifle round in hand.
Even still look at the money on both teams.
Brutal. Nouns one is quite good for this bench. They lost 2 in the second round and 1 in the third. That lets them build up a bank rather considerably and quickly. Also, doesn't hurt that Nouns have 4 AKs as well, only 1 bonus MAC-10 in play.
There's no helmets on Breeze or OC's op, so the MAC-10 can do some damage. It can still do damage against the rifles, too. Just a little more difficult to do damage against the head armor of Hexed, Automatic, and Nitro. A play utility coming through from Nouns. Op has been revealed as well. Smoke down for Library. OC posting up towards Moto. Keeping an eye on both lane and on Arch side. Peek from Carson. Does not get punished. And Rush now preparing to blow that smoke asunder to peek on through. CJ going up those smokes. Spammed by Breeze. Automatic as well. Up top has a pair of kills before Carson is wondering what happened to his team. Stuck on Arch side in limbo. He'll do what damage he can. 2 kills. Be huge. Never mind. He won't get the freebie onto Hext. As he could not connect the headshot. That's a kill he needs to get, and that would have severely hampered the economy of NRG. Now, they have some money to play with after keeping 4 alive.
That was worrying. That's a kill that Carson should get 11 times out of 10. I think he thought he got the headshot, or he thought he got the kill because he stopped shooting.
Yeah.
Big opportunity to do some good economic damage ripped away from him. Nouns, at the very least, though, have another buy in hand. They also have an op in play for Junior to rival OC. CT op is a far kinder than on Inferno, and as we can tell, he found Carson immediately at the start of this round.
The opening pick works out well for NRG, but Rush is trying to get something back in. No over peaks from the CT side as now they'll walk out of apartments. No flashes, but here's one trade. Don't expect Breeze and Pit, though, and now that's a trade back in the favor of the CT side. Messy spray from Hext converted, leaving the op of Junior in a 1 versus 4, a relatively unwinnable one as well, because Automatic's on the flank, but he misses out to the no-scope of Junior, and that'll give Junior a little bit of space as quite a bit of time. This one's not over yet, and at the very least, Junior can do some economic damage and thin out that CT economy. But with 48 seconds to go, a bomb plant is not out of the picture, especially if you can deal with Breeze and Hext, who happens to be very low on health. OC in a 1 versus 1 on the op retake is not exactly in a good position for this to work. And if Junior gets the timing onto Breeze, if he can spot him out towards Porch, 1 versus 2, very winnable for the Yopper.
Get the kill onto the player over towards middle, then he can plant the bomb. Lure and Hext, as you mentioned, he's low on HP. If Junior knows that, he can pull out the pistol. Breeze, though, lurking in apartments. In red, though, Junior's ready. Pops the shot. Found that first. Hext, though, already on the corner. Can't quite catch Junior on the cross. Time is now gone. Junior gonna throw a Molotov to buy space, but no, Hext races forward ahead of it and blindsides Junior. Second in a row for NRG, but as you mentioned, a costly one. Thanks in no small part to Junior's heroics on the op.
I don't know how I like that walk out of balcony with no utility. Because if they do get caught, it's over. That's exactly what we saw. NRG are not giving Nouns anything to work with. And Nouns are kind of, at least in their 2 rounds prior, waiting for picks. It's not going to work against NRG the way they've been playing right now. Now that they know their opposition's on weaker weaponry, now they're going for the fights. Now they're peaking early. But prior to that, NRG relatively passive on their holds. And it worked out well. It's forcing Nouns into situations where they're being too trepidatious, they're taking their sweet time, and it's getting caught. Something has to change in the Nouns camp moving forward through the gun rounds, or this half is going to turn on its head.
Momentum is already being swayed. XOC Breeze finding one a pop. Rush with the Glock finally catches that player running down middle. Those just gonna lock things down with the op finding the trade, and now find the second on a Junior. No, Automatic all the way through apartments should have this player dead to rights. He peeks into OC's crosshair earlier. Nope. Automatic's the one to get it. Is on the board as well. 2 for OC, 1 for Automatic and Hext. And a tied ball game at 3 apiece. Since the rifles came through, NRG found their footing. Answering the pistol and the 2 following, 3 of their own rifles. Nouns back to a buy. They have AKs across the board. They're not messing with the op this time around. They have a decent utility as well. DJ dropping his over to George, if I'm not mistaken. This is where the momentum will shift. If NRG win this again and they win it cleanly, they'll have that CT economy further built up. They'll also be going against Pistols once more with a lead in the pocket. We'll need to add insult to injury.
Molly prep for Breeze. He's spotted, but he drops the flames. No damage done by NRG, however, so far this round. All of it's been done by Nouns, all 19 damage. And George spots the head of Automatic as well, and that Ross Automatic takes the fight, loses out to George up on balcony. Breeze only good for one. Taken down by his former comrade. Mom going down now over on the A site. Momentarily, George will actually move around and go for a more open pit plant. I like that delay. It's not a rushed plant. It's a bit safer. And Rush now with the timing on the Nitro, too. That's just unlucky. Nitro with his knife out, trying to walk faster without making sound. Leaving a save call for OC and Hexed as the money. Not great for NRG. Keeping Nouns ahead by just a hair. And for Carson, read by OC, though. Here's the footsteps. That should be the end of the hunt. It'll be another gun round for both sides. Maybe a little bit more broken for Nouns. A little maybe lack of utility, but a good change in how they played the round. And a good read from Carson.
Very good change to finally get themselves back into that winner's column. Both teams are playing quite confident in this one. NRG in the round before last against the Pistols, pushing down middle, pushing apartments. Same with the Pistol, they push down middle. Nouns as well, playing very confident. We saw that admittedly overzealous hunt from Carson the round prior, but the fact that both teams are coming out swinging, going blow for blow is very exciting for the prospects of this series. Again, NRG almost need this map to really have legs to stand on in the series. Nouns, as you mentioned, their buys a little bit hamstrung, some lacking utility, but otherwise it's good. AKs across the board. NRG, full rifles as well. Op still in hand for OC. Aggression down banana early on for NRG.
That was a perfect nade onto Hexed. Bounced right to his feet. The early utility battle being won by Nouns in round 8. OC must be quick with it, a couple of different angles to watch. And now he begins to be wary of middle. George debating the jiggle. And OC backing away more and more. The fear rising in the minds of NRG as Nouns work their way around, methodical and slow with a minute to go. Only a solo B-hold now in Nitro. Hex rotating over early given his lack of health. Carson clearing up. Nitro may call for reinforcements as Carson's making all the noise in the world right now. Utility has not been called for, but the players have. Hex will receive an extra Molotov. 3-2 standard hold now from NRG. And no kills either direction. 35 seconds to go. Somebody's going to have to make a play. Carson's lurking. He's trying to draw extra rotations here, but Nouns can't buy any more time. They have to go. And now OC gets demolished. The bomb's going towards B, but the rest of the team running towards A. Breeze one from balcony. The bomb in limbo. Things are getting chaotic and crazy in the final seconds as there needs to be a plant. Automatic. How does he miss that kill? He has a free kill for 5 seconds, and now CJ can trade out Breeze. Bomb gets planted. Carson on the lurk strikes to Nitro. And Hext, who got damaged first, is last alive in a 1 versus 3, which he has no business winning. He will attempt the save, and Nouns will secure a 5th. NRG's round collapses. And it all stems from that early duel from Cold's era box. Automatic had so much time to get that kill. How does he not finish that?
Bungles it. Another one of those kills that should be yours 11 times out of 10. Saw it earlier with Carson over towards Arch. Now we see with Automatic on Cold box. Maybe nerves, maybe thinking the opponent's dead, not exactly sure.
He didn't stop spraying though. That was a full mag.
Lots of questions. Concerning. Nouns very nearly let that round get away from them. As you mentioned, the bomb was going back and forth with 20 seconds left on the clock. Not a good spot to be in. The individuals wake up at a critical juncture for Nouns. One pressing Arch, one pushing onto site, getting that kill onto Cold Zera box, exploiting that weakness or that fumble, as I said. Very big round for Nouns to take, and NRG obviously feeling flustered by that. Their economy's been reset. They're going to save in this one, but also use attack pause to slow things down and get their head back on their shoulders.
Well, for NRG, the timeout must work wonders. A Tech 9 for Nitro, salvaged from Nouns. 5-7, 2 CZs. The AK for Hext brought forth. Junior will use the op this time. He had that little double kill in a 1vx a while ago. And since then has not had his AWP, and Hext goes hunting. Punished by George early on. Nade towards Boiler. Double nade towards Boiler. OC chunked down to 31. Very low on health, but not removed. Automatic in the vicinity, but not there for an immediate reacquisition of that gun. CJ takes a little bit of damage, but he deals with OC quite cleanly in the end. Only 3 players left for NRG, and Nouns are still playing for picks here. Plenty of time to work with. And no response at all from the CT side.
You know, it's pistols. They don't want to commit into a stack. They're just going to go slowly and methodically while playing the numbers game. Smart from Nouns. Trying to make it clean and build up that T economy. Breeze did get one with the 5-7. George and Junior, though, answer in kind with 2. Leaving just Nitro. The IGL had a slow start to this first map of the series. The Tech 9 in hand. It's been dropped over from his teammate X in the round prior. I'm going to struggle to find anything here, especially with Carson holding bottom mid. It seems like he's been reading this flank quite well. Carson, I think it was Flush that caught Nitro on the flank. Apartments a couple rounds prior. Carson this time around cuts him off at the choke point of Banana. 6-3. Nouns back in the driver's seat. They won the first 3 rounds. They lost the next 3, but they've won 3 more in a row to guarantee at least a tied ball game going into the second half. And I'm sure they're keen on getting more out of this first.
Oh yeah, I mean they got 10 rounds on Anubis in their prior series a couple of days ago against NRG. The Nouns are looking to add more to that. They'd love 13 in regulation. Take the map pick of NRG away. They floated Inferno for a reason. Breeze hard down middle. OC catches Rush attempting the refrag. Automatic up in Apartments will strike on the Junior, attempting to gain some space. And so a fast response from NRG on the guns has yielded some fruit. It's economic damage time now for George and now just CJ. That's allowing NRG a flawless would not be ideal. Wouldn't be horrible for Nouns. Again, they got 6 rounds, but they will allow the flawless to come through. It's a nice shot from OC through the wall. But is that one replicable? Early aggression was not punished. It scaled forward, and it worked for NRG. But can they make that happen again in their favor? Or do they have more tricks up their sleeves? We get into the last 2 rounds of this first half. We'll need to see a little bit more. Their money, not fantastic. Nouns, not either. It's a swing round into the penultimate. The winner, massive advantage into round number 12. Perhaps the difference between an 8-4 lead and a tie ball game.
Probably will be the difference. NRG again playing with confidence in that round prior. Looked quite good. Definitely upset Nouns, as you mentioned, a clean and flawless victory. Also helps further bolster the confidence for players who've had shaky starts. Rushing up Banana this time around. Nitro flashed in. Molotov's at his heels. He'll still find one before finally burning alive. Hex got that kill instead. He's now at sandbagged and forced to duel. They line up, but he finds neither. George is the one to come out on top of that engagement. Rush is holding the mid press for Breeze. Timing just not quite in his favor. Not quite in either's favor, in fact. 3 versus 4 NRG. Stack towards BOC, actually going for the peak. Banana finds CJ through the wall. Breeze now might have a timing. He does onto Rush, lurking up middle. Still in Apartments as well, going to be an ever-present threat for Nouns as they try to get this bomb to dirt. Things have swayed in the opposite direction. Advantage now to NRG. Bomb plant will be allowed. But Breeze, with this power position, really forces Nouns into difficult retake or hold position, excuse me. OC the first, George, an answer onto automatic. The Breeze from the balcony, as I mentioned, comes through and secures the round. Very close in the end, both players below 20 HP. Nouns struggled to get it across the line.
Yeah, George did good damage. He just couldn't quite get the finish on the Breeze. Junior missing that first shot on lane did not set up the team for success there. Quite the opposite. And so, it's going to be a broken bye for Nouns into the final round of the first half. Meanwhile, NRG have everything they need. AKs, utility, kits across the board, helmets on everybody as well. Deagle, Tech 9, Mac 10 over on the opposition. A nade onto Carson only takes him down by a quarter. With that Mac 10 so aggressive up and in, I do like this idea. He's going to let all this utility fly through. Now he's going to reveal himself, expecting a push around. He'll still win the first fight against Nitro, and Hex cannot aggress forward. Now he'll go, but there's the trade that Nouns were looking for. A third player revealed over towards Banana as well. Nade goes in to land right behind Automatic, taking him down to 73. He'll retreat and wait for reinforcements as Rush will lurk, hoping Breeze walks right into his crosshair. Although Breeze is the other way around and not quite exactly where Rush would like, he could still get the drop on his former teammate. OC crossing to sight as Rush falls. Nice shot and good read by Breeze. Leveling this out at a 3 versus 3. Nouns have a lot of time to work with. They have AKs across the board now, a decent amount of utility still remaining. 2 smokes, 2 mollies, and a flashbang. And just biding their time has caused Automatic to rotate away, and they've heard that. They've heard those footsteps. They know exactly what's going on.
Nouns holding for any potential aggression. We saw it from OC a couple rounds prior at Banana. Not going to be the case, though. He's instead resting, crouched up on the site. Smokes will force him to the back of said site. Double flank is coming through from his teammate, so he's going to be alone to try and rebuke this take. Towards the point, man. Shot does not connect, and CJ will exploit that. OC taken down at the cost of nothing. Final pair, as I mentioned, flanking up Banana. They're here quickly. But Junior, does he get it down? Yes, just in the nick of time. Automatic, though, takes him down. Back to even footing. Automatic. Shot while jumping. It's just Breeze. Now, he's at a good map, but in a 1 versus 2, both locked into the back of sight. It's going to be a difficult prospect for him. Smoke towards Dark, if I'm not mistaken, will force George into an awkward duel. Nade towards Firebox. There's a lot on to CJ, and they swing. Breeze gets them both. Very well played from the veteran as he gets Banana control and brings us to a tied 6-6 ball game as we hit the halftime break.
same old feeling. Don't know what's right or wrong. Searching for meaning. I've been thinking about it way too long. So whatever you long for, don't give up along the way. Just don't give up along the way, you know, and cherish the moment. Come on up and just let go. Come on up and just let go.
Massive 1 versus 2 clutch from Breeze gets NRG to a tied ball game of 6 apiece. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs to bring you the action. NRG now on the T side of their map pick. It is Inferno. Very curious. Nouns elected to start on the T side. Normally most teams elect to start on the CT. They did put up a very solid performance on the offense. The question is, will their defense be similarly up to snuff, or will NRG kick it into high gear and close out their map pick cleanly?
Pistol Round would help out Noun significantly. They wouldn't have to worry about any shenanigans and having to claw back in, getting that CT economy up to snuff, and worrying about that ever-present reset. A lead here and now would be a very good start for them, trying to take away their opponent's map pick. Of course, not a good map for Nouns. If you missed the pre-show, 1-4 record for Nouns on this map. That's a 20% win rate for those of you who want to know the numbers. And they've done well so far. I think 6 rounds of the T side was more than I expected out of them, Nate. And they've had good moments. They've had rounds slip away from them as well they shouldn't have lost. They've had rounds that they've won that they shouldn't have won. And honestly, 6-6 is a bit generous to NRG, considering how things have ended.
Yeah. Nouns looked very solid on their offensive. Surprisingly so, as you mentioned, because of the stat line. I think my biggest takeaway was they were a little bit too slow. They were a little bit too forcefully reliant on picks. Slowed them down a couple times. They were very lucky they didn't get punished that one round with 20 seconds remaining. This time around, it is a slow round from NRG. The pistol round is live. Finally a kill. It's automatic, catching Carson over towards B. He's quickly traded, though, by the dualies. And with that kill, George knows it's not going to be a B play. No one else is there. Junior spots them coming out of brackets. It's going to be this A site as the target. Junior dancing around site box does some damage. Yes, support from CJ on cold as well. Two
What
for
shot.
CJ. A pair. Breeze in Nitro clap back, though. Secure the site, and the bomb will go down. George slinking through the smoke, finds one, spots the second as well, and gets the headshot. George steals away the round with a 3K. What a big way to open up this second half for Nouns.
Well, Nate, you said in the pre-show, George is normally a selfless anchor player, but he could take over the server when he needs to. We've had a few big moments from George Snorts. He has just taken away the pistol round, denied the bomb plant from NRG. The flash that got him that opening kill onto Automatic lurking at B as well sealed the deal and gave the whole jig up and let Nouns know what was going on. He's had some very good early picks, some very critical lockdown kills. George is having himself a very good game. Breeze, 17-9, absolutely massive individually, but he hasn't had the team support to back him up. George has. Nouns have come through in the moments they've been required to. And it's just been a bit of that difference. The impact has been there for both sides, but the finishing has been there from Nouns.
Able to get it across the line. They have looked the better of the two thus far. Nouns not going to overextend in this round. They know it's going to be pistols, at most a 4-spy with Tech 9s, perhaps, maybe even a Mac 10, but no Galils are going to be in play unless they were dropped over. DJ on the balcony, here's the step, sprays for one, and actually gets it while following. Rush supporting from site, gets a second. CJ doubling down. Rush finding another as well. It's a mop-up from the MP9s, all 5 going the way of the SMGs. It's a flawless victory to boot for Nouns, and they're going to have a very submachine gun-centric bonus round for round number 15.
Yeah, I would expect something aggressive, either banana or mid. I'm leaning towards a mid-alt-mid play, but Nouns are leaning towards banana instead. Not live. Oh, no, we're back. I just froze for a second.
It was OTV, all of us.
Okay.
But it looks like the game itself is not being hampered, so of course it is live. They're still fighting. Banana control is the object of NRG's eye right now. Getting control slowly. A second player slinking through the smoke. That nade could do a good amount of damage. No. It was slightly too deep to catch Nitro. Just slinking forward with his teammate, spamming car, waiting. Nouns have a read or some sort of inkling that it's going to be an A site take, because they've rotated a fourth person over, leaving just Carson to fend off the car push. Very interesting and a little bit of a risky call from the Nouns camp. They are stacking heavily towards brackets. However, as I mentioned, NRG are still focusing on Banana instead.
Nade chunks automatic down more. It's NRG losing health. Nouns just going for chip, hit, and fade, and it's working perfectly. Junior hears the pin pull, shuts down Breeze, doesn't even stick around for the gun upgrade, just grabs the kill and runs away. That is exactly what Nouns need to do with the SMGs. Just be little annoying flies buzzing around the heads of NRG. Don't get hit. Just sting, bite, and flit away.
Junior got the kill and saw no one, said it's going to be a B-site play. Rotated 2 players over immediately. It's the wrong call because NRG shifted gears off of that opener. They're now walking out of apartments with 10 seconds remaining. George is here to defend, as is Rush. They just need to buy enough time to prevent that bomb from going down. Rush does some damage. It's George's turn now, doubling down on the site, tripling down on the site. Again, this man takes over as the anchor. Automatic, stranded alone in middle, is caught by Carson as he flies down Banana. And that is a shutout round from Nouns. They again reassert a 3-round lead.
Another big 3-round lead from Nouns. Another timeout used by NRG, but no bomb plant again. Their money is not good enough for a buy. They can force or they can half. What will they decide? A half more prudent, but rounds are running away from NRG and favoring Nouns. They'll still have an MP9 pair in Junior and CJ. But it's George again in a big moment to deliver for Nouns. 3 kills from Box. The damage from Rush helped out, but you still have to have the poise to get 3 kills on 1 mag out of an A1S. In that kind of a high-pressure situation, George needs 2 there, minimum. And he gets all 3. And yeah, up close and personal, them running into you. Big round again from George, and it's good to see.
Now, Nouns are by no means out of the woods yet. Sure, they're winning these rounds. The individuals are here. I think that's the biggest difference, especially in that round. George specifically is the individual. But their reads aren't right. They went for a triple stack B as the rotation came back around to A, and then vice versa. They stacked A while they were targeting B. Nouns, they're winning rounds by virtue of the individuals. The reads and the leans towards one side or another have been wrong across the board. Very lucky they didn't get exploited again because of the individuals.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Nouns are trying to be too proactive on the CT side.
Feels like it.
Although this round, they're just going to let CJ rather have his fun and walk all the way down. He's going to hear all this noise, give the information over. Junior's MP9 is here on B. George's AK is here on B, and Junior will open things up with the first kill. And a second as well running around. George, nice and controlled again, as Rush actually gets D through the smoke. OC a second. Hex charges down George, and now we're in a 2 versus 2. CJ silent and deadly up through the smoke behind. Is he watched for? Bomb plant through. He is, but he deals with the first, not the second. Hex has revealed everything. He does not know where Carson is. And the in-game leader for Nouns will win the round. And no bomb plant again from NRG. They come up empty close, but no cigar. It's OC to try to bring them back, but Breeze has gone silent in the second half. A menace with 17 kills, 16 of which gained in the first half. Nothing to speak of for NRG on the T side of Inferno. Their map pick. And now the individuals are here.
Together. Yeah, the individuals, again, is that X factor. That was a very close round. 1v1, Carson won.
But even it shouldn't have even been that close, though, because OC even made it dangerous by the first smoke kill and then the second.
Yeah. Junior posted with an op. Crosshair too low. He legs. CJ gets a trade, but Hex is there in kind to find CJ. Rush still in the apartments towards Boiler, trying to find a way to bring it back to even footing. Hex is still quite low, being legged. However, NRG emerged with the advantage at this point. Also, fun fact, that round Nouns just took, round number 10. That was the first time that a team has won more than 3 rounds in a row. It went 3 rounds for NRG. No, was it 3 for Nouns? I don't remember who won the pistol in the first half, but it went 3 rounds, then 3 rounds, then 3 rounds, then 3 rounds. We finally had 4 rounds in a row, won by Nouns. NRG, again, not done yet. Still looking to come back into this one.
Very slow round from NRG now, as they're just waiting for somebody from Nouns to overextend. Nouns know what they're waiting for, and they don't want to overextend and give NRG even more of an advantage. NRG gearing up for a take towards A. Burning down the clock, though. They're going to hit with about 15 seconds to go, which is going to give Nouns the opportunity to win the round by virtue of 1 kill. Molotov stalls out the push. Hex is very low. Rush gets flamed out of position. He's still alive, though. He escapes with his life, but only for a moment. George and Pitt, 1 big kill, 2 big kill, 3 on the lineup. Hex will try to plant. He may be successful, but will he get out alive? No, he won't. It's a quad from George again and Pitt. They knew where he was. They lined up, and he wins them all in the end. What a round again from George, as he has taken over the server indeed. 21-11. Nouns 2 away from the map pick of NRG, with their Bastion of Ancient as map number 2. And NRG buying again. They have 1 more timeout, but they waited way too long to get anything done. 20 seconds on the hit. It all took 1 kill, really. That kill on the balcony, all their focus onto George and Pitt. He gets 1 out of that. It's still going to slow them down and maybe buy enough time for the rotation to get close. It won't probably stop the plant, but it makes things so much more viable. But he just does it all himself anyways. Lots of damage taken, Banana, and no opening kill on the boost either. Things go from bad to worse for NRG. They do get the opening, but they are bleeding out. Hexed on 12, Automatic 46, Nitro 51. And NRG, despite being a man up, are the team that looks scared.
So they are. They're all tagged down quite low by the utility early on towards Banana. George is also here, so that's a very dangerous thing to deal with. He's not respected either. He walks out, gets 1, gets 2, not quite the 3rd, but Rush is there for the trade. It's now Breeze, again, silent in the second half, and he has a 1 versus 3 ahead of him. No bomb on his back. He passed the first test at least. A nice 2-tap dirt nap on the junior. A lot of time to work with. CJ and Rush are going to play this together, and that makes this very difficult for Breeze to get across the line.
And he's not even content to make a move yet. He's holding the line, waiting. Slow and steady. Rush, no! Peeking out! Will escape with his life. That's lucky. Breeze should have had that kill dead to rights. And the bomb still not recovered by Breeze. He's making a lot of noise. Picks up the bomb now. 18 seconds, just enough time to run away to A. CJ and Rush, they're going to gamble it. It's a good read. Breeze should beat them.
Yes, he'll beat him.
But he'll have no utility left unless he...
Okay,
oh my gosh.
Rush will just spam. This can get damage, but he has to worry about all these different angles. Breeze now has a window. Glimmer of hope, an opportunity. Spraying for the first. It's wild. It doesn't connect whatsoever. CJ at range takes him down from Library. Rush was just staying there and alive to draw the attention away from his teammate. Very well done by this pair. They get it to 12. Nouns looking indomitable on this defense, thanks in no small part to George's multi-kills, but also, again, everyone else doing what is required.
Yeah, that was a good 1-2 combo with Rush on Car, too. George peeks. Rush is there to help after George is drawing the attention. George gets 2. Rush gets 2. And then CJ just cleans up the last from Library. It's a very good round overall from Nouns, and NRG just cannot get anything going. Shut out so far on this T side.
Shut out. Get lost even. Again, the calling's been there. But as you've mentioned so astutely, they leave it too down to the wire for them to really get it across the line. George spamming the smoke, finds automatic. His reign of terror is oppressive. NRG, see he's at B, they race towards A. That's the call. Avoid George at all costs.
Rotations.
Rotations, yeah, they're already here. Junior on the up finds one. Rush is still on site. Junior taken down. OC and Breeze actually finding 3 between them. Rush, though, again, still on site. The rotations very timely. Trying to hold off against the final pair, but not avail in that situation, leaving just George, the raid boss, the B anchor in this round, to retake in the 1 versus 2.
He's got a 2.0 KD. He can extend that, or he can fall. Lots of time to work with. Not a lot of utility, however, just that smoke on his body. Spots the head of 1. Back sight. OC. Smoke down to pit to give George a little more of an angle. Will he expect the second player, though, over in Graveyard? That's the question. Time is starting to run out for him as well. He's going to have to make a play. He spots 1. He's going to have to flick around. He knows where OC is. Has to take the fight. Cannot quite get the finish. Chest shots keeping OC alive. He'll grab the op to play again, but George brings it so close again. Within 1 shot of damage. And taking the map pick of NRG away. This buy from the T side, not great either. Hexed relegated to a Mac 10 automatic on a Galil. And Nouns will actually call a timeout here. Their money's not good either. And they might elect to go for a half buy. It would not be a bad call. Junior can drop a couple of pistols. George can buy armor. Rush can do the same. Maybe even no buy hero rifle. This is why they have timeouts. They haven't needed to use any. They might as well now. And it looks like Nouns are going to go for a hero op. Nope, they're going to go all in. I don't hate this, actually.
Either Rush, if he doesn't want utility, he could drop a rifle as well. Maybe even a FAMAS. You drop an M4 to Junior and receive nothing in return. Selfless. From Rush.
Yeah.
Nope, he got a rifle in hand. Okay, there we go. He does go for the M4 as well. I don't hate it either. 2 MP9s, 2 M4s, and the op for Junior that can also take over. We haven't seen him do too much, and it won't do anything in this round either. OC's op on the T side is the one to win the Opera's duel early on. It's the first Opera's duel we've seen in this map. NRG's economy also hurting a bit too. Mac 10 and a Galil for Hexed and automatic. NRG, successful finding the opening at least. Now they need to get to an actual site and find victory. Ideally in a clean fashion.
So far, so good from NRG. Still down by 5. It would take 6 in a row to tie this one up and send us to overtime. Lone A defender is Rush. Everyone else on B. So it might even just be a save call here from Nouns. The rotations are very far away. If Rush can't get anything on the initial contact, it's probably a save. And as it stands, Rush is playing so far removed from everything. They might just call it quits here and now, although they're going to get a little aggressive towards Banana. CJ and Carson peeking over. Rush is holding towards Arches. Nobody his vicinity. And yeah, I think Nouns are going to go for a save here.
They should. 4v5 with not a lot of utility. They have the kit, but 2 MP9s really going to struggle in a retake situation. Hold your lines. Keep 4 alive with that armor. Should be able to get another sort of investment into round number 21.
They won't have the op, but it didn't work out for them too well last time.
Oh. NRG. Still feeling the pressure, though. As we mentioned, this feels like a must-win map for their aspirations in this series. They have a long way to go to come back in this one. Get an 8th. They still need 4 in a row to go unanswered to get to overtime. And then, of course, they have to win the overtime to complete the comeback. No small task ahead of them. But if there's a roster that can muster through it, it is NRG.
Junior will have a USP into this round. So he's going to keep his economy even with everybody else. They have the rounds to play with this, so it's not a horrible call. It's a little weird if it comes down to Junior having to take a fight, but it's probably the wiser call as far as economy is concerned. Hex will take a little bit of Molotov damage, toss in his nade, do a lot with it, but Carson goes in! He's got two! Great flash from Junior! And Nitro now, last standing out of those car players, is fighting his way out to escape alive. The MP9 spam raining it around him, finds nothing. And Rush holding for a lurk towards Arches, may just catch the timing onto Breeze. He's expecting someone. Breeze walks in, clears too close. And so Rush will back away, looking to anchor out on A, getting into sight. OC trying to clear up the flash will give things away. Rush has another, and double dink for the last. 2-tap dirt nap and a pair of them in the end. It's 13-8 in favor of Nouns on the map pick of NRG. That is Nouns' second win on Inferno in the last 3 months, and their first time playing it in about a month and a half. Actually, no, they played Legacy, but before that, they had not touched the map any considerable amount. Great T side, great CT side, separated by 1 percentage point, 60.4 defense, 59.4 offense. Meanwhile, a 5-9 record for NRG, their worst map out of the maps they consistently play by far, and a sub 50% win rate on both sides of the map. It does not bode well for this NRG side. And one of their more recent map wins on Ancient Nate came against Lag. Life's a game not near the caliber of Nouns at all.
No, they're not. NRG are on the T side. We are into the action. It's going to be an execute towards A. Nouns were stacking towards B with one player in Donut being Junior. He had dualies. He tried to get out of the smoke as a balloon, but he's caught very quickly by Breeze. Bomb goes down. Nouns a man down going into this retake. They do have a kit on Carson and now a flash out through the smoke. One player spotted. Kill not quite secured. Carson tagged low as well. Hex though falls. Rush doubling down. Looking for even more. OC lurking in towards Donut might be this X factor his team needs. Nitro gets one traded. OC now trying to do it all from this flank in Donut. Breeze as well as rotated around, but the kit is on and it is sticking. Efu's coming through. It's secured. Nouns steal away the pistol. Breeze gets the final pair of kills. It's Nouns that continue to find victories. A big one in this opening round of Ancient.
Well, Nouns with the pistol, they allow the bomb plant. 4 kills come through from NRG. Breeze again, a good start on this second map. But Nouns claim the victory regardless. They'll have MP9s, 3 instead of 4, unlike the last map. M4s on Junior and Carson. Meanwhile, NRG have rifles across the board, barring Nitro's MAC-10. He'll charge up Snake, throw the Molotov in, and look to go for a fight. Get taken down by a Rush, who burns on the refrag from the grave from Nitro. Hex, in the meantime, has taken over the side. George takes up a position in towards Cave, and Automatic, watching the lurk, drops one of those 2 M4s. Things becoming a little more hairy for Nouns here as they are struggling to get back into this round. Into the open, George goes 1 for 1. No trade potential at all there from him. And Junior is still watching for a flank through A site. And I think George moves way too early there. CJ getting caught just spells the rest of the doom for Nouns in this round. And NRG are going to tie this up at 1 apiece here with an early strike back.
Early strike back. Of course they were going to force buy. They got all 5 kills. They got the bomb plant. They just couldn't hold on and defend long enough. Junior will save his M4. That's something to work with in the next round, but his team's going to struggle. It's going to be pistols, maybe MP9s, if they're lucky. They really prioritize that weapon, Junior dropping 1. It's likely going to be 5.7s, maybe CZs, maybe Deagles, and some Kevlar. But Nouns should definitely be forcing in this 3rd round. There it is. 2 5.7s. Yep. Make that 3. Okay, make that 2. P250 for Carson instead. MP9 for Rush.
No helmet for Breeze.
Yeah, no, but that's an interesting call. Oh, he couldn't afford it in the round prior.
Yeah, he couldn't.
See if that comes to bite him. Nouns going to go for a scrappy force spy. CJ up close, Junior far back, holding in towards A main. It's going to be cleared, CJ. He won't find anything. The spray from Junior. Ugly doesn't do that situation justice. That was catastrophe of a spray, and that should be the round done and dusted at this point. 3 versus 5, no real recourse. They're going to try and drop this rifle with Hex, who's holding passively outside B. But they're not going to attempt the round. Surely not. Ideally just saving this Kevlar. NRG should take the lead 2-1 early.
Galil will be brought into the next round, and the Nouns will have the MP9, the 5-7, and the Galil to fight with to stave off an NRG third. But so far, decent start on the T side here from NRG on their opponent's map pick. It was a 13-6 a couple of days ago between these two sides in the favor of the Nouns. But a good start here is always something NRG could use to build some momentum and try to trade this map back with Nouns and take us to Mirage. A spot at ESL Challenger Atlanta on the line in this qualifier. It's just the opening matchup of day number 1. It's double elimination, so we won't be bidding goodbye to either of these two teams just yet. And Nouns, P250 for Junior. That will be all invested into this round. And it's not even invested. It was what Carson had anyway, so he just drops that over. $0 spent by Nouns, the definition of frugality. As another A play from NRG here, Junior up close and personal will also meet the same fate. CJ goes hunting with the pistol. He will fall, but Nouns are fast on the retake. They have sprung through middle and are pushing in towards Donuts. Spray will do damage, but not quite prevent anything bomb plant-wise or moving forward in the round-wise. And if Nouns could get a couple of kills out of this round, that would be nice. You can't really ask for much in this situation, though, from the CT side.
No, you should be saving that Galil. Let's start the MP9. Hopefully go for exits with that. In with the pistol. Or just spam through the smoke. Very unlucky there. Good signs for NRG early, though. The individuals are hitting their shots. Automatics waking up. Breeze, as he was, is doing quite well. Nitro as well was the sore spot individually for NRG. He had 2 kills at the end of the first half. Carson, there's the damage you wanted. It's 2. That's 3 total in the round for Nouns. I thought it was already concluded, but no. Carson dips his toes in and finds a good amount of damage. Dying embers of the round. 3-1 for NRG. Nouns have rifles in hand at long last. It should be full M4s. The op is here for Junior. He has no utility and no helmet. He does not have an op on the other side to contend with.
Having the op on T side ain't not exactly the most easy thing to use. Neither is it on Inferno. We saw Uzi win the Opper's duel against Junior last map, but it's Automatic who goes down first, and his teammate Nitro follows suit to Carson, who doubles up down towards bottom middle. Hext, meanwhile, catches Rush, and the op of Junior will shine onto Breeze, leaving just Hext and OC in the 2 versus 4. OC, though, lurking down bottom middle, probably a why is he still there call coming out of CJ, as he's traded back by Carson, leaving Hext away from the bomb and exposed over at Cave, tagged down to 28 HP. And not too long for this world, one would assume. That's a crispy duel against George that he wins. But can he do any more damage here to this Nouns side is the real question. Flash high will give him a little bit more space to work with. Carson's in a good trade spot with Junior, though, to minimize any further damage, but at this point, you don't want to lose another player.
Yeah. Junior should be holding this with the op. The fact that they're both now neglecting this angle is very worrying. Next, smoked op. Oh, the bomb is all the way down below. That makes sense. I thought it was up top. Snake. My mistake. Makes things far more difficult for Hext. He's not just tucked in corners. He saw the body, thought it was a player, gives away his position, and Junior swing off that contact. A second on the board at long last for Nouns, but as you mentioned, not a cheap round. Losing 3 players means it's going to be quite costly to reinvest going forward. NRG had enough money in the coffers to go for another reinvestment in round number 6. Lil for Hex is less than ideal, but still serviceable. OC as well does have an op for T-side ancient.
We'll see if that Opper's duel comes through here. We only saw it once in Inferno. Nade stack a little bit too early for Nouns, so they won't get any kills out of that. But still some chip damage dealt onto NRG as Nouns look to stabilize on their CT side and build their lead. The quicker this is over for Nouns, probably the better. They're most likely going to have a date with Wildcard in the next round if they're able to win this series, which they should, having taken away their opponent's map pick. That one, definitely they could use a little bit of prep time and rest time before taking on a very good team over there. Flash is a bit too early for Carson, or late for Carson's peak, and Hex actually doubles up with the Glock in hand for the second. Very low on health. He's got a third with 1 HP. Hex is doing it all. Nitro's in the red as well. George gets chased away. So does Rush. And NRG are going to keep their lead and, in fact, grow it to 2 rounds.
A big round. The individuals finally waking up. 3 for Hex on literally 1 HP. Massive. You were right. Wildcard took the first map versus Party Astronauts 13-11. That was also an Inferno start. Fun fact. It was close, but it was the pick of Party Astronauts, and they came up short. George hunted down, as is Rush, in fact. Good hold from Nitro. Good flash from Hex. And no weapons will be salvaged for round number 7 on the side of Nouns. They're going to be on basically a full save, much like before. USPs across the board, maybe 1 or 2 upgraded pistols, but even that doesn't seem likely. Things are getting concerning. At this point, I would say a tactical timeout is in order for the defense.
I would agree. Once the guns come out, a timeout should be taken by Nouns. We could assume that that's the plan here, as it's USPs and USPs only in this round. Good nade damage done by NRG, who are getting close to at least tying their record in the previous meeting between these two teams on the map. So far, so good, though, from NRG. It's the individuals that have really stepped up, from Breeze to Hex to Nitro. Automatic as well. Meanwhile, CJ and Junior, very quiet in the early going. Nouns as a whole, nothing special. NRG taking this one very slow. They do have a man in the back lines, an automatic, as he's working around behind. Automatic, or OC rather, 1 opener. Hex with 3 and 4. And only Nitro going down. Still, you don't want to take a casualty against USPs. Their hand was forced. The bulk came down. And so there's 5 on the board for NRG here. Here's that timeout from Nouns, though. That's what we were looking for. No op, though, for the CT side. But guns aplenty. And we'll see what adjustments they'll make moving forward here.
Some are definitely needed. Maybe some more K presence. Challenging up Snake from middle. Mid-hold has been quite solid. Hex, you mentioned, got 4 kills in that last round. He actually got 3 onto the enemy and 1 onto a teammate. A fun little aside. 5-2. Very solid lead. NRG, though, probably still want more out of this first half. CT side is going to be very difficult. They, as you mentioned, they have a sub 50% win rate on both sides of the map. There's going to be no easy side for them either, because Nouns have a just about identical win rate of 60.4 and 59.4 on the CT and T side, respectively. You take everything that they can get. Nouns aggression in middle and towards Snake. Now OC on his op is going to post up B ramp, but the Molotov will keep him at bay. Spots 1. Good tag through the wall into George. No kills on either side to be spoken of as of yet. They're out on A. They just walked out. Straight contact onto the site. Nobody's here. Nouns isn't even respecting it. That flash will finally tell them what's going on. CJ's already smoked all the way back into Donut. Bomb has already hit dirt. 5 versus 5 retake with only a flash and a smoke seems like a very difficult prospect. No kid. He's going to go quit. 2. Junior entering out, taking the battle of attrition, finds the first, but he's tagged low. Breeze has a good setup with Nitro. It's going to be an uphill battle through and through. Nouns need to go through, push forward. Trades come through. 3 versus 2 for Nouns at this point, but time is of the essence. And Hex has a dominant position in towards Donut. Tap onto the bomb. They needed to stick it at this stage. Nitro on the op finds 1. He's traded, but Hex in Donut pulls him off the bomb and wins the round. He'll fall, but there's no time for the defuse. 6-2 for NRG.
And not a round which Nouns should have even had a chance on a retake, quite honestly. No kit, no utility. They almost made it work. And that's the craziest part of it all, is that they almost made it work. but they don't respect A at all. They leave it completely abandoned. That's a big question mark strategically from Nouns. And especially given the fact that NRG have hit A so consistently.
True. Nouns were trying to make a play, something different off the back of their timeout, and it crumbles. Spy's kind of all over the place. George is fully invested, but no one else really is. 257s at MP9, an AK, and an op. George, bottom B ramp. Hex, however, is the one to take the duel onto Carson up top. Nice little quirky angle. A-Man again the call. CJ's close with the 5-7. He'll swing. He lines up two. Only gets one, but lots of damage on the body shots. Op of Junior is here as well towards Donut. I believe there's one more teammate in tow. Yes, that is Rush. They're both here. The issue is the 2 versus 4. And NRG have so much map control.
They have all the map control they need right now, and they have all the advantages as well with the health and the manpower. Rush needed one. Doesn't get any. And Nitro. Tap onto Junior as well. That op down. And 7 for NRG now on this T side. They're looking super good right now.
Convincing, solid.
NRG, or rather Nouns, are looking a little lackluster too. The reads are not there, but that's kind of been the case the entire series. It's just the individuals are getting out-aimed.
Yeah, it's a very scary prospect to have a veteran like Nitro waking up in the way he is. He is the IGL. He's not meant to take over, and yet he is. Those 2 taps there can attest to that fact. Rushing middle again from Nouns, getting control. Following up Snake to get some control, but Hex catches Carson jumping up. Rush is forced to stay inside cave as well to add insult to injury. Nouns continually getting picked apart. The Molotov tick gives away Rush. Hex finds that. George, this close might not be expected. It does not matter. Hex has 3 to his name and could theoretically get the ace. He finds George. 2 versus 5 for CJ and Junior. They should both be saving the rifles. The question is, will NRG allow them that luxury?
I don't think they will. They have automatic lurking A again. And Hex will take down Junior with a crisp flurry of bullets. CJ gets 1, but he's traded. Surely he's traded out. Somewhere along the line, he'll die. It's just who does he die to? He doesn't get out of this line. It's automatic from A. And Nouns still only 2 rounds. I am very concerned for Nouns right now.
Falling flat.
I don't think that does it justice.
Where's the team we saw in the last map?
They're below sea level.
Drowning. Another half buy. Man, lots of pistols. An MP9 for Rush. They've yet to make a round even close, really.
That retake 5v5 with no kit.
And even then, like, they never really had a chance. Made it look good. They got the trades. It got down to, like, what was it, a 2v1?
2v3, 2v1, yeah. And they ended up running out of time.
Still lost it, yeah. Still, it's not a clean and convincing round. Just the individuals trading out as they should. Save round falling very flat as well. Not a kill to be spoken of as of yet. Rush spotted towards CT. He has an MP9 in hand. Should get caught by Nitro here. Nope. Okay. Shadow betrays the IGL. He's caught by the MP9. His rifle will not be picked up. Rush can't get that far. Automatic blindsides him from red doors. 9-2. 10, a very distinct possibility at this stage. With a lead that commanding and that oppressive, I'm not sure Nouns can stand a chance in the second half.
If Nouns get 3, they might be able to do something with a pistol round on a very strong T side, but goodness gracious. This has been abysmal.
Abysmal.
Borderline appalling.
Yeah. This is Nouns' Bastion map. As soon as it hit the pool, this was the map they played time and again.
Yep.
Throughout all their different iterations of their squad. here they are, down 2-9, potentially 2-10. They finally find that opening that goes in their favor. George finds that. Rushing the cubby is not expected either. He'll find 2. The spam through the wall will finally trade him out. The Nouns look like they might finally stem the bleeding. They might finally get a third on the board. The issue is, it's been so long. Even a victory here might not help them come back, given the mountain that lays ahead.
It's a big mountain. It is a massive mountain that rests ahead of Nouns if they want to take this one in 2-0 fashion. And that's still assuming they convert this round, which is not a given. Automatic wins the fight against CJ, which should not happen. CJ has health advantage, angle advantage, everything. Junior is expected. And also removed. The A side is open once again. And the bomb is headed back to B? Oh no. This is...
on that rotation. Carson. Everything's on his shoulders.
But he doesn't have to make a move. He can wait.
It's the kill. That's the bomb. Automatic found George in the meanwhile, though. We're back to a 1-1. Audi on low HP, though, and Carson has a rifle. Nice angle held. Shot secured. 3-9 as we hit the halftime break.
Let's love for the night. Slow dance till the sun comes up. Let's touch under lights. Slow dance till we're high on love, high on love. Till we're high on love, high on love. Till we're high.
We're back in here. Nouns struggled on their map pick. A very good map for them. Their best historically. But NRG, a flying start. Nitro, Hexed, Automatic. Everyone clicking heads and taking names. And a pistol round win would all but cement this map in favor of NRG and get us moving to Mirage much quicker than anyone could have anticipated. Boggs and Pineapple Phillips on the call. as we get into this one, a very important pistol round for Nouns. I'm not going to say imperative, because even if they win this pistol round, it's still a massive climb back in. There's not much of an opportunity for Nouns to claw their way back into this one, even with a pistol round, anti-force, anti-gun round victory. It's a very tough road they've given themselves. And to match what we've seen from Hext, from Automatic, and from Nitro, they're going to have to step up immensely individually.
The rough forest road, unpaved, 20-degree tilt. You're going to have to ruck it. By any means necessary. Again, pistol, if they want to even have a shot in this map, is required. So they'll go towards B. Molly forces OC away. 3 in cave, 2 towards the ramp. Carson good for 1. Nitro and OC answer in kind, but Rush finds the IGL in response, leaving us at even footing. OC trying to force the fight towards doors.
Oh my gosh.
Does fall, but Automatic rushing the smoke finds a double in response, dropping the bomb and leaving Junior. In a 1v2, a flank is coming through that's as of now unknown. Breeze walking down. Snake finds Junior's head. NRG take the pistol and should take any aspirations for Nouns away in this second map.
Forced buy here from Nouns, most likely the call, because going down 8 is almost impossible.
Not even a bomb plant.
Yeah, but do you really want to play with 1 round margin for error?
No,
Yeah,
I don't, but they do, evidently.
apparently. I mean, Deagle on 2. This is it's a no-win situation, for sure. It's a bit nitpicky, but man,
Walking a hard place.
you don't really have any control of your destiny if you're Nouns. And that pistol round, they had the start. They just get tunnel vision on OC down ramp. Nobody expecting a rotation through CT.
That push of the smoke was huge.
Mm-hmm.
NRG finally waking up. Going to send us off to Mirage, the decider map. Won by Nouns in the last head-to-head. Eagles, as you mentioned, Rush and Carson. No actual contact proper being taken anywhere thus far. X might catch Junior here right inside the door momentarily. There's actually 4 players here. This pair need to be careful. It's Hext and it's Nitro. Just throw smoke instead. 50 seconds remaining for Nouns. Got to make their move. A bomb plant would be great. Doesn't seem likely.
Through the smoke they go. It's a farm for NRG. George gets 1, but only 1. And a long-range spray with the MP9 will yield a second out of that, although that will be all he'll find. Just a little bit of chip damage and nothing really to write home about for Nouns. NRG 2 away from victory on their opponent's map pick, and what a statement this is, too, as Mirage is the last map, and that one, on paper, should be the closest one of them all. One map we saw good individuals from Nouns. One map we've seen incredible individuals from NRG. And who knows what we'll see on map 3, which is essentially an inevitability, barring one of the biggest comebacks in CS2 history. And a mid-push from NRG to try and suffocate Nouns early on. Hext goes hunting, and George will dispatch succinctly. Potential flank coming through as well here from NRG. A pincer on towards A main. The bomb is outside of B. Only 1 defender here. OC does get lucky with that opening duel. Almost gets caught out, but he's lucky that George had utility in hand instead of a gun. The bomb moves B, though, and CJ, or Carson, rather, will win that fight against Nitro. Automatic, though, lurking around on that flank. Shuts down a big impact player in George into a 3 versus 3. No bomb plant yet, and that's smoked way too shallow. Rush, that's huge. But still not a secure round for Nouns. Breeze and Automatic working their way in. No kit, but plenty of time to make this retake work.
Yeah. Big flank. Nouns as well, not the best post plants. They actually finally do spread out, getting CT control. That was the biggest factor. Now it should be the round, especially with that kill onto the flanking player. Automatic already turning tail. Going to save the AK for the following. So Nouns stay off map point for the time being, securing a 4th. They still trail by 7, though. As we talked about, they're only 2 losses away from being sent to Mirage.
this one. Tight to start. It's been blown wide open. Eight required for Nouns to tie this one up, not even to win it or take it to overtime. Be 9 in a row to guarantee overtime, 10 in a row to win in regulation. And a curious move by NRG here to call a timeout after losing one round.
I'll close it out, put it to bed. Gonna go for the force buy. Don't hate it either, especially with the way their individuals have been playing.
And they have the rounds to play with.
Yes, they do. Moss for OC. M4 dropped over to Hexed. Breeze on a 5-7. Nitro on an MP9. Every individual on NRG has been fiery hot. Hex and Automatic have 16 a pop. Nitro's at 14. Breeze is at 9. Pretty low, but only 5 deaths. He hasn't been called on to do much. OC as well, 8 and 7. It's been difficult for Nouns. There's no weak link that they can exploit. A main. Press rather quickly. Stalls, right as I say that. Breeze up close, 5-7 in hand, is looking for the opening. Really finds it. Forced back into the corner, getting support as he can. Nitro going to be at bat towards E ramp in the meanwhile. He's ready with smoke in hand based on contact.
Junior will get boosted up, or rather Rush will get boosted up, looking for a pick. No pick to follow. Nouns are looking for picks. They're looking for an opening duel to win. And NRG are not giving up anything early. They did have the push from Breeze, but he backs away without overstaying his welcome, does not want to die. This is a reasonable round for NRG to have a chance in, given their firepower available. The rifles on 3, the MP9, the 5.7. They can expect to have a chance to win this round. And now with that flashbang going deep, it blinds both. Nitro Automatic got the bomb down. Snake, nothing from Carson. That should signal the end of this map and the beginning of Mirage momentarily. CJ won in response, but it comes far too little and far too late. A whimper from Nouns as we should see 12 from NRG, and we will with that kill from Hexed. They have turned the tide and stemmed the bleeding. More importantly, they respond with a statement after that first map loss. Nouns will buy what they can. Tech 9s on 2, AKs on a pair, Galil for George. But Mirage all but secured officially now, as it's map point for NRG.
Map point. 8 map points if required. Nouns cobbling together what they can. 3 rifles, 2 Tech 9s, a little bit of utility. Unless an individual suddenly goes nuclear, it's curtains for them. There's no other way to look at it. DJ trying to do his best NRG impression, going for a contact play. A main, met with a smoke. Looks like our predictions have been upended, Boggs. We said map number 1 is where NRG needed to make their stand. They fell short there. Kind of wrote this map off as a guarantee for Nouns, given it being their flagship map, and yet here they are getting decimated. 12-4, potentially 13-4. Just a few moments. Said the first map was a statement from Nouns, and it was. This map, though, is a far louder and far more groundbreaking statement from NRG.
Hext goes forward, but he's shut down by George. Breeze, in the meantime, anchors on A and eliminates Carson's inroads. That's one of the Tech 9s down. Double up towards Donut. Early spray from Breeze. Finds nothing. Automatic, not expected and not removed. George will trade onto Breeze and knows where Automatic is as well. But it's a bit of a game of chicken between these two. Good. No flash actually in. Automatic just loses the fight dry. And so OC will have to trade out into George into a 2 versus 2. B is open-ish. Nitro, a more passive hold of the site, allows Rush to get some control. The bomb still has to cross, though. Smoke to allow it to go down. Flash in for Nitro, but he loses the fight to Rush. OC now revealed, given the utility. But this is very winnable for the NRG Opper, rifle in hand. knows the bomb is down, knows Rush is somewhere nearby as well. Lots of time to work with for OC. No utility after those 2 flashes thrown. And he'll get gifted the opening duel. Rush walks right into his crosshair. Now it's all down to Junior. The Oppers duel with their respective rifles. And it's OC to win it. NRG, a 13-4 utter demolition job of Nouns on the best map for Nouns. We're going to Mirage, and there's not much more you can say about that map than NRG showed up ready to play in map 2, utterly destroyed Nouns from every single level of the game. That was about as pure and good as it gets from one team. Get face off against Wildcard, who I believe took that one 2-0. And so for NRG right now, the ball's in their court. They just have to sink the shot. Nouns are the team now with something to prove. And it's a bit different being on that side of the ball.
It is. We are into the action. We do have Nouns on the T side. That probably means they lost the knife round. It was a knife round for the decider. NRG on the defense. That is Nitro getting caught out of position, but still finding one before falling. OC at range and window. Definitely going to outclass the Glock there. And that is the bomb dropped on the balcony. Automatic getting control of middle as well. Spots one. Rush finally unseats the Opper. And gets jungle control as well, but needs his teammates to come through, get the bomb, and get it to the ground as well. Rush finds Automatic pressing the smoke. Bit foolhardy from him. Just Breeze and Hex, the final pair. Rush has 3 and is on for the ace. Finally unseated. Hex takes him down. Back to even footing. This flank in middle is expected. Hex is pushing forward, but he doesn't clear the angle. He does not look at Chair, and that gives Carson 1 and the info on the second. No Kevlar for Breeze. Means that he's going to be an easy kill with the Glock tapped away. Nouns take the pistol. It was a very interesting touch and go pistol. It could have gone either direction.
Yeah, it started off well with that opening pick from Nitro. OC dropping the bomb on balcony, but a couple big kills from Rush and then from Carson in the end over at Chair. Seals the deal for Nouns, but a very shaky round from them, more so than from NRG. NRG did not exactly have to sweat too much. I think they over-rotated. They played a little too proactively, and that hurt them in the end. But I still have more confidence in NRG right now, especially after watching that pistol round. Nouns were not making the right decisions in a lot of the scenarios and got bailed out by some individual performances. And a missed read, not expecting a player out church that late in mid, which, granted, if you're NRG, why would you expect somebody at Chair with about 48 seconds to go in the bomb on A?
And when he was already forced out of middle.
Yep.
It was very heads-up play from Carson. He got him those kills. Expect nothing less from the IGO, playing it perfectly well. The force buy from NRG, though. Scout, Eagles, MP9, CZ. Again, it's rearing its ugly head. Still not a big fan of it, but it has worked. It did in map number 1. 3 Mag 10s, an AK, and a Galil. Nouns are going back to their old ways, what we saw on Inferno. They're holding for an opening to be presented, but this lets the time get away from them, especially if NRG take things slow. Hex 1, Junior a trade, and lots of damage done to this T side. Automatic falters, but does recover with 1. Almost a second. CJ's at 13 HP. 3 versus 3, but with CJ and Junior as low as they are, and with only 30 seconds remaining, they're on the cusp of being destroyed. Flash over CT. 20 seconds left. Now the bomb has to make its way to site and get planted. Otherwise, it's going to be over here in the blink of an eye. 15 seconds remaining. CJ's yet to make the crossing. He's low on HP as well. They could catch him through the box. Finally, he'll attempt the plant, and it will go down. The Deagle out ramp finds 1. Carson a trade, but Hex activates, finding 1, and OC on the scout finds a second. NRG will not allow the pistol round to be converted, and they will tie us up at 1 apiece.
That is a very similar start to what we saw on Ancient 2, except Nouns won the pistol round by virtue of a ninja defuse on that second map in the series. They were shut down on the ensuing round by NRG. This time Nouns won the round by virtue of elimination, but NRG. Crisp retake gets them the round again, and now Nouns are forcing back into this one. Mac 10's on 3, Galil's on 2, no AKs, utility is quite sparse. NRG looking confident, looking composed, reading the game well. And Nouns, can't really say the same about them right now.
Yeah. Person, cat selflessly. The IGL activating. Finds one before being traded. He's a force buy. Oh, B they will go. The issue is Breeze is here, as is a teammate in market. They both find one. George finally overwhelms Breeze. He actually doubles down. Hero that Nouns needs to activate is here. He has two, and he's looking for a third. Nitro swinging, gets caught as well. 3 for him. Just automatic. On a timing, he finds one. He knows the second is round sight pillar. That Molotov forces Junior across. Spot made. The Galil can't convert the kill either. Hits down. He has it on his belt. Plenty of time for the defuse. NRG are the ones to win 2 in a row to stabilize things.
George does it all but finish it off. The fact he got that third was absolutely incredible. Was not expecting automatic up cat. Got caught from behind. Nouns are struggling. You called upon George to show up. He did, but nobody was there for the finish. NRG are able to stabilize a little bit. Their economy's not great, and Nouns with the bomb plant are going to go back in with another force buy. Galil's on 3 this time, an AK for Junior, and a Tech 9 for Rush. Automatic misses the cat jump, and there's some mid-pressure here from NRG. Good bit of utility used top middle, forces Carson away. Smoke fades just at the edge, too. That's a perfect spot for it to fade for Automatic to catch Carson out. And the opening pick goes the way of the CT side as NRG are ready to kick this one into cruise control early.
They are going to stabilize things, put it to bed. It's a relatively CT-sided map, if I'm not mistaken. Although NRG are decidedly T-sided on it. Both teams are, actually. Trades come through. Favor Nouns, though. 3 versus 2. 2 Galil still in play, though. Less than ideal. Breeze is one shot, though. Bomb has successfully crossed all the way over towards A. Breeze and Hexed both going for a flank. You have a kit. No utility. This is all the more difficult.
Bomb plant comes through. Flanks coming in, read well by Junior onto Breeze, and that leaves Hext on the ramp flank. Nobody's expecting both on the backside, though, and so Rush goes down for free. Hext knows there's one in Palace, does not know the sandwich position of George. He's going to focus on what he does know, what he can control. Clears one. Goes in. And George will be there to swing out and finish him off from behind. Nouns will tie things up at 2. Another close one here. Not exactly easy for Nouns. They were on the force, sure. But they won it in the end. And now this is where they can build. This is where Nouns can get some of that momentum back. Snatch it away from NRG. As it's NRG on a force buy, and it's going to be pistols mostly, an MP9 for Hext. The utility is going to be poor as well. A timeout used by Nouns. I don't think they're too confident in how they're winning these rounds. But at the bare minimum, they're having some better results early than they did on Ancient.
Yes, they are. 2 Tech 9s, or 2 CZs, excuse me, and 2 5.7s. Nouns keeping this one contentious. OC keeping a bit of money in the bank for the op in future. Timeout expires. Mac 10 for CJ to harvest some cash potentially. Decent smoke window to start off the round.
That's good.
What a pair. A free pair. Both holding, both ready. And yet they're just mowed down by the Mac 10. Just full body shots on the second player. They were caught looking. A third for CJ. In a very slow second map, but now he's waking up on the third. OC through ramp slipped the gap by Rush, but it doesn't matter. CJ finds a fourth. The last alive is OC. I can't see him stealing this round away, but he can definitely do some damage with this opportunity he's been given.
CJ would love an ace. They might just have the opportunity as OC's out in Palace. CJ, back turn though, not gonna expect this. Taps away, Junior will steal the ace, but secure the kill and keep all 5 alive. And that's the important part, folks. Sure, no ace, but CJ's not gonna be mad. Keeps his teammate alive, he knows what's at stake. And he'll be happy with that extra cash built up too, 2,400 bucks in kill reward. He'll stick on the Mac 10. And it's going to be another round where NRG don't have anything invested, as they are not going to go for any investment barring a solitary flashbang tossed to OC. Here's CJ's chance for an ace.
Has to harvest a lot of cash too. Straight push middle is the call for NRG. Makes sense. That's what the flash was for. Going to be an A play though, and CJ at the helm once more. Mac 10, excuse me, to open things up. 4 kills for him. Again, this is a round that we're going to win 10 times out of 10 pretty much, but making it look that clean is definitely a statement that he's here to play. Again, the ace is stolen this time by Carson, but they're happy. Back-to-back flawless rounds builds up a T economy very quickly.
Oh yeah, especially with now $4,800 in kill rewards for CJ. His money over the $10,000 mark. And NRG are going to buy back into this one, Nate, but their buy lacks a critical element. That is the defuse kit. They don't have anybody who could even forego a helmet for that. They go for utility instead, which is still quite poor on their side. OC going to jump into ladder room. There's 3 players initially in middle, now into 2. There's no helmet on anybody either for NRG. Very vulnerable to the Mac 10, but it's backstabbed by Nitro, playing close and personal. Hext only gobbles up 1 from Sandwich before he is taken down. The bomb can move to site and get planted. Default 3v2 in the favor of Nouns. The scrim out A works well. It's George, of course, getting the bulk of those kills. And Breeze knows you have a difficult decision to make whether they even want to attempt something resembling a retake, and it looks like they're just going to go for exits. That's the much wiser call, considering their lack of economy. Both players $0 in residual cash. And Nouns, 5 rounds on the T side now, beginning to build some more momentum back in, looking more and more confident, more importantly, and reading the game better than they were on Ancient. I will still say, though, the trend where we saw Nouns having misreads across Inferno and Ancient is still continuing here. They're just getting bailed out by some good duels, much like the first map.
Yes, they are. Individuals are here to play. NRG say those 2 weapons. Right when we said NRG might be kicking it into cruise control, they get humbled in a big way. Maybe some upgraded pistols, if that, for the CT side, but I can't see them rallying around these 2 saved weapons. Nouns again calling a tactical timeout. This is their second of 3. It's right as things are going good for them, so they want to slow things down and come up with a different plan heading into round number 8.
Another timeout's weird.
It is. Again, a weird moment, too. Maybe they're paranoid about what's going to happen with those rifles. See what happens.
The ops here for OC still. It'll have to shine in a big way if NRG want something out of this round, theoretically anyway. You want your rifles to have impact in these sorts of rounds. The op hasn't really had much for NRG yet. It's yet to appear for Nouns. It's the right read from OC, expecting somebody towards under. But Rush is not going to fall into this game of chicken. And George actually might be the victim here, unless he peeks close. There's some opportunity. Oh, that's going to spot the op. I think Rush knows OC's going to back away as well. But he's all alone. Flash in for George to begin to move through apartments. Carson in through middle. OC has too many different angles to watch. His teammates far too late in towards Market, but he will go forward. 1 kill, 2 kills up close and personal for OC. And the bomb still moving out onto the site proper. 2 here to defend. The CZ of Hex finishes off 1. Actually, no, it's automatic instead to help out. He's still alive and kicking. Junior and George moving their way onto the site. The bomb yet to go down. Lots of time to rotate away, but they'd have to do it now if they wanted to make their way away. George, good long-range duel one. Automatic still back empty pillar. Bleeding out, but he will not be put down yet. Finally falls, and Nitro. 1 versus 2. Molotov, smoke, spotted by George. All the information he needs. He'll plant safe and prep his 1v1 with all the information he can reasonably have to set up for a hold.
Good cross from George into market. Does Nitro expect that kind of play? It seemed like he's looking mostly at the site instead. There we go. Now he realizes. Now he knows. All on timing. Nitro, the IGL, a slow start to map 3. George, a fiery start on this one. He's on for the fork in this round. Time is of the essence. Nitro drops the smoke. There's no kit, though. And that is going to haunt them. George just spams the smoke, buys time. Time is gone. Round is done. Even if Nitro gets the kill, it's curtains. He will get that gift, but he will not get the round. Op picked up. He will survive. Actually, a pretty big deal bringing that in for OC. 6-2 for Nouns, and a lot of bank left to reinvest. It's only getting more difficult for NRG as this half continues to play out.
The buy is back for NRG, but they've failed to get anything on the board in the last few rounds. They're not exactly out of the woods as far as the game is concerned, the map is concerned, score-wise, but they need to get something back here pretty quickly. They do not want to let it go to a 10-2, not let it go to a 9-3. Carson 1-for-1, traded out by Breeze, but the trades will favor the T's, and it opens up all of A side, essentially. Nitro's the only one here, and he hasn't seen anything just yet. He's exposed on stairs and has to back away, wait for help from Hext. Another deep molly in towards jungle, as these two are stuck in connector. One flank coming through from Breeze, but Nouns are beginning to swarm the site proper. Smoke's going down, leaving a gap for Hext. But they're very wary of the potential for players here. Good flashbang. Nitro still takes out 1 and 2. The bomb yet to get planted. The flank is here as well. Junior's not ready for it. NRG should have this round on lock now that Nitro grabs George. Junior 1, not even 1. Misses the shot, and it's a quad kill from the in-game leader to bring this one back and rein things in. A very good round from him at stairs, and Nouns too scared for their own good.
Too scared for their own good and punished for it. They're whittling away at the bank they built up. Nothing left for Rush or Junior. Everybody else does a good bit in the bank, though. NRG off the back of a near clean one. Also beginning to build up a bank on the CT side. OC on the op is looking for an early play ramp. The rival is here as well in Junior. See if their scopes cross paths. And they will. Junior is the one to win it this time around. Big opening to find. Again, Nouns stream in towards this A site. X molly to in window. Gonna take a lot of damage there. He will escape. Plant will be attempted very quickly this time around. CJ dueling upstairs, can't quite get the kill, but it won't stop the plant. Nitro, the IGL has found one, but only one. Good trade from Rush as he gets control of bench. Automatic now, slinking into the very same angle, but his teammate falls in the meanwhile, and he falls swiftly thereafter. Just hexed. CT spawn by Ticket. Catches George jumping up on Firebox, and he picks up the op as well, but this round has already been done and dusted. 1v3 isn't really possible. To try to buy himself some space to save the gun for the following. Carson already on this fast flank. Should secure the kill. Oh, and everything. There it is. Hex misses the shot. Carson wins the fight. And Nouns swiftly back into the winner's column with a 7th on the board.
And it looks like we have a technical pause here, as Nouns notch their 7th. 2 more rounds to go in the half. 9-3 is what Nouns are pushing for. Give them the best lead and the best chance of closing this one out, moving in through the upper bracket. Never want to have to make the lower bracket run.
No, you don't. Lower bracket especially punishes you. I think we've talked about it a lot during all these qualifiers while we've done them. But if you drop to that lower bracket, you have to play another best of 3. And you're already playing 2 per day over 2 days. if you're in the lower bracket. If you're in the upper bracket, if you can make it through to that grand final on the upper, you only play 2 on the first day and 1 on the second day. So it's a pretty big deal. Watch your opponents, your potential opponents, duke it out in that consolidation final. And warm up as you please, not coming into the game already fatigued.
Pause has ended. We can back into this one. OC has the op. Junior has one as well. The buy is here for NRG, but their money cannot withstand another loss. They'd have to force into the last round or save what they have. Nouns have enough to at least weather the storm. It would not be the best, but it wouldn't be horrible either. Looks to be a B play early from Nouns if they go fast. Utility from Breeze should keep them at bay for now. Hex moves in the middle. Junior gets caught towards chair. Now Nouns are going to try to explode into this B site. Hex is on Cat. They know where he is. Flashbang huge, but Breeze will still land one for and 2 from sight. Despite the flashes through, Rush and George have to close this out for Nouns, but they were in a very difficult position. Utility out for Rush. Costs him his life. And George, who has been stellar throughout the course of this evening, will have to be even more so now in the 1 versus 4 anchor from bench. There's nowhere he can escape to, and he needs to win that first kill clean. He doesn't. He knows it. He knew he had to get the taps. And without those converted, there's no real chance for him. We could see him give up there after he stopped shooting. And so NRG, a critical clean round to win, too, at the late stages of this half. Gives them a good opportunity for 5, which would be not our closest, but our second closest to that first map of Inferno. But it would give them a much easier way back in, going into their more favored side of T.
Would. Third attack pause used by Nouns. All within this first half. I don't like it either. They either never use them or use them very early. No in between for Nouns. Seems like they're very keen on winning an 8th before this first half concludes. A lot of pressure on this T side start.
Be nice to see Junior have some impact with that op. That has not been too common through the course of the day. Only that 1vx situation where he got a couple of kills really comes to mind. He didn't win the round, but they were nice and flashy. Other than that, that op has been relatively silent.
It has. It's been serviceable, but it hasn't taken over as it does from time to time. Opera still again towards A. This time around it is OC to win it. Finds the player ramp a big first to find. Nitro swapped up positions as well, playing on top of the balcony. Dropping down. Person. Try to lurk out once more in middle. He's expected and waited for. Hexed on catwalk takes him down cleanly. Now they'll flash top middle to get even more control. NRG looking to make some 5-7 half. Nitro catches George walking through a smoke. Nouns being teased apart piece by piece, player by player. Bomb is down ramp. Rush is the last alive in a 1 versus 5.
And he's watched for as well. Hexed overwatch position, ready to take the angle. He'll take it. And so it's a 7-5 half into the break. We'll see you in a minute.
Contentious first half ends at a 7-5 tenuous lead for Nouns, but it could evaporate in the blink of an eye should the pistol round go against them. Pineapple, Phillips, and Boggs to bring you the action in this first best of three. It's been a barn burner series. 13-8 for Nouns on Inferno, 13-4 for NRG on Ancient. Quite the upset and statement. And Mirage is for all the marbles in this opening series between these two juggernauts.
No kit for the CT side, but they do have dual Beretta raid boss set up on George. CJ pushing up top middle, spots out one towards T apartments, and OC will not be damaged yet. So far, very defaulty, very slow pistol round from NRG. Kind of surprising how passive they're playing this one. Trying to egg Nouns into these peaks, but Nouns are respecting this and playing the right counter. They're getting the information. Okay, they're playing back. Let's just hold our line and force NRG to make an unforced error here.
Forced an error out of it. Exactly. Very slow. Bomb is slinking over towards B. Was towards A. Now it's actually bottom middle. On Nitro's
That would have
back.
been a weird call.
Would have been. But they're all finally congregating together. In the apartments, they'll come. Rush is jump spotting with a molly at the ready. He'll buy time for rotation. The teammate on catwalk as well. OC lining up a smoke, I believe, for Get Right. Here they come. Molotov thrown. They race through it. CJ on catwalk first at bat. Misses the shots. Swinging out. He's blind and caught. Hex finds that. Hex doubles down onto Carson as well. Rush backside now alone and cleared by the very same man. Hex triples down. Quadruples down, leaving just George in a 1 versus 5. Hex is keen on this ace. I don't think he'll find it. Okay, yes he will. 9 HP against the dualies. He will prevail. And NRG are now 1 away from tying it up with individuals fiery hot and keen on putting this series to bed.
They'd love to reverse sweep Nouns, get a little bit of redemption and retribution against this team that played a part in NRG's lack of qualification to the RMR. Nouns will not invest anything into this round, so we can expect a 7-all score line moving into round 15. Rush will jump up into ladder. Triple stack and con. Meanwhile, NRG are content to walk at B again. What a round from Hex to the previous, though. All headshots, all crisp and clean, except for the one that he was blind for the initial part of. He'll lead the charge again, looking to get more kills out of this MAC-10. Nitro will open it up, however. Bomb will eventually cross the site. Nitro's heard them storming up towards his vicinity. He'll run the other direction. X will take out Rush. That's 6 kills in the last 2 rounds. And NRG will have a 7th. It's just a matter of how long until that officially updates on the scoreboard. But no response at all from Nouns. Again, I'm worried for them.
I'm worried too, but we have to wait to the rifle round to really have that worry be founded on something. X hunting down. Wants a 7th in 2 rounds. He will find it. Junior's the last one top middle. No one's even close. Just hoping to be given an exit. Something that he can bring into the next round or something. Down to 13 from the bomb. He will get caught by Breeze's Galil at CT spawn. 7-7 tied ball game. Nouns, though, as I mentioned, they full save to get rifles now. 4 M4s, likely a full 5, a full suite of them. Somebody should sell a helmet and buy a kit. That would be a very important piece of utility going into this round.
Should, but they don't. If it comes down to a tight defuse, Nate, we can harken back on that.
Can, but the helmets are useful at least.
Yes, especially with the
Galil's
glue.
in Mac 10. Yeah. It's not a complete waste. You can get the prioritization. Triple stack on A. It is an A lean from NRG as well. Carson first contact at stairs. Spamming, doesn't really find a kill. CJ under bout, back down to 17. OC and Breeze find one at pop. Junior coming through. CT tries to be the hero, only gets a pair before being traded. Advantage remains with NRG. They've not crossed into the site to put the bomb down just yet. In fact, they might actually double back, or at the very least check for a late flank.
Checking for the late flank seems to be their course, as OC is watching their backside. No overpeaking from either side. Both teams waiting for the other to make a move. George is also waiting for a flank. He knows it's a possibility. Somebody can come behind.
CTs.
I do. I think this is a good call, considering their situation. It's probably the best they could make. And Rush actually finds a gap. He has support as well. He's able to get out, but he's traded out by Nitro, leaving George in the 1v1. He ate a lot of damage in that duel, and he'll swing out for the fight. Only does one shot, while Nitro only needed one. It's the lead. Swings back to NRG. They're first in a very long time. And the buy for Nouns is not going to be there. Pistols, armor, that's going to be it.
Maybe some pistols. And maybe some armor. Carson, 5-7 armor. Okay, there's a good amount of armor. Guess the loss bonus does help. MP9 for Rush as well. They're going to try to do something scrappy with these weapons, but they're going to struggle. NRG have looked very fearsome in the second half. While the wins haven't been necessarily clean, they have been consistent.
Looks to be another BN from NRG. They've had success here before. Cat split, 2 mid, 3 up in apartments. Another smoke to a window as well. Only one smoke left for NRG, so they will have to be careful. Especially with those pistols around the corner. Rush will spot one. Bait up the utility, reposition, and get close. Hext looks for an opening. Utility Molotovs raining around. Smokes and nades in towards sight. One spotted. That's Junior. George one, but only one before Hext can trade him out. Hext goes for more, but Carson needs a lot of damage before trading him out, leaving it down to just him and CJ. Breeze, OC and Automatic will hold with no attempt for a retake from Nouns, presumably, unless they want to go very late with no kit and just do some damage. But it should be a 2-round lead for NRG, and Nouns do not look like they want to do anything besides lightly poke at NRG in the exit scenario.
Yeah, armor could be useful in the round following. Hopefully they can poke and prod around for an AK maybe. It could very well win this duel. Actually, 2 though. 1. Okay, he finds them both. Maybe even the third as well. No, he gets greedy, goes for the rifle. OC actually lines them both up there. One was in window, one was behind. So no saved weaponry or armor for the defense. 9-7 for NRG. These rounds have been expensive, and that means the T side does not have quite the bank you would expect. Breeze is down to 250. X only has 1,000. Nouns does have a way back into this.
That op from Junior needs to shine. It peeks out and is shut down by Hext. CJ and Sandwich also fell by the very same man. Hext is having himself a whale of a game. Had the ace in the pistol round on the second half. Has had multiple multi-kills here as of late. Propelling NRG forward. Maybe pulling them along. It's a better way to put it. As the bomb goes down. Hext finally felled. Not really that big of a problem. Automatic around the edge of the smoke. Spots out Carson, Rush, and George. Left to their own devices on B. A 10th for NRG. And a goose egg for Nouns in the second half. Looking awfully similar to that first map, Nate. Just swap the team that's having success.
Yes, it is. NRG. Very solid. Op being recovered. Well, it's on Breeze. Why does Breeze have the op? Maybe he recovered it off of Junior's body, actually. George in ladder. Can't find anything on this exit. Nitro runs him down. 10-7. 3 rounds separate these two teams and also separate NRG from victory in this series. Again, Nouns using all 3 timeouts in that first half. Now they have nothing to talk things out within the second.
Junior opens it up with a deagle. The hand cannon strikes for 1. No recovery for that rifle down on the ground, but taking out Hext will give them a little bit of room to breathe. He's been an absolute menace. Very slow round, though. Nouns do not want to overextend, send themselves into a rather unwinnable position, force NRG to peek the pistols up close. Only Rush can afford to take a long-range duel with that M4 out middle. And the spot from CJ may just entice a rotation, although there's already 3 here along the A site. Utility coming in. Push coming through. Molotov out. Junior, 2 more on the Deagle! Massive kills from Junior. CJ chimes in with 1 more. Breeze in the 1v3 grabs the bomb in the 1v2. Has enough time to run to B, should he desire. But Junior's picking it up in a massive way. In the fire, roasting alive. Lands 2 more to make this winnable for Nouns. But winnable only if Rush or George can convert the final kill. As Breeze has made his way towards apartments and into B. Enough time to get that bomb down. No kit for Nouns. And so Breeze will have to set up in the 1 versus 2 as he's revealed his play.
Room to reposition if necessary. Nouns are wisely playing this together as they should. Breeze going up the catwalk. Not planted for this. He sees the Molotov from the first. They just swing together. It's going to be so hard. A potential lineup. It is. Breeze finds 1. Breeze finds 2. And what looked like an opportunity from Nouns is ripped away from them. As should be the map at this stage. 11-7. The individuals on NRG simply outclassing Nouns at this point. Even in the 2v1. They play it right. They play it smart. They play it together. They totally neglect Cat as an option. And NRG looking untouchable right now in this third map.
They call a timeout after that one, presumably to let comms clear up a little bit and just shore up things as well, as it wasn't a clean round. Junior makes that one very close. And reasonably, Breeze lucky to get both of them looking the wrong direction. Nobody reacting quick enough to his position over on Catwalk. 2 more to go for NRG, and a date with Wildcard in the upper bracket. Nouns would play Party Astronauts if the score trend continues as it looks right now. Junior and Op again, Rush and M4. Everybody has a rifle and utility on Nouns. Obviously, the same can be said for NRG. His economy is still not great, keep in mind, despite having won 7 rounds in a row now in this half. Or 6, excuse me. But it's been much smoother for NRG. And that continues as OC wins another Opper's duel against Junior, who has not beaten him head-to-head at all. And Nouns are calling it quits?
They lose 1 player and they call it a save immediately. Nouns are scared. Looking lost at this point. All 4 over towards A, saving their weapons. I don't know what to say. Scared, overly respectful, lost. looked so promising in the first half as well.
Nitro on the hunt, just looking for one more. Gets one before he falls, but he's got more than enough money, and that hurts that economy of the CT side significantly more than NRG's, as they have series point now. What a run back. Absolutely incredible from NRG. And from Nouns, they used all 3 of their timeouts in the first half. No option for that now. Saved 3 guns into this round. 5 now the deficit. 5 in a row required for overtime. Nades stack in, but OC wins the first fight. George will get 1 for 1, as the flashbang from Breeze will enable the second kill to come through for NRG. Junior, Carson, and Rush, the last 3 standing. And Rush has already burned a little bit over at Van. Plenty of time to work with for NRG on the clock. And again for Nouns, things getting bleaker and bleaker. More and more destitute. And lots of signs of concern moving forward from what I'm seeing from them as well. Not just this game, but as far as their overall reads and their playstyle is concerned.
Yeah. A lot of things that have been exploited by NRG in this one. Right read from the op of Junior, boosted up by Rush. NRG going to continue into the site, though. Hex taking point, jumping out, knows the op is somewhere around backside, but you expect this boost. He knows Rush is here. Why doesn't he expect the shot from the back? Rush gets that, and now it's an advantage for Nouns. 3 versus 2. Nitro's on low HP. They finally know Rush is here, but he's still dug in, and he finds a second, leaving just automatic the 1v3. All 3 players are here and ready. Rush is the one to triple down. Nouns stay alive 8-12. Oversight from NRG in that site take.
A massive oversight from NRG, but their first real major mistake in the last string of rounds. It's the first Nouns have had since 7-3. There's been a very long time since Nouns have won a round.
It has.
Is it too late, though? Yeah. And it was 7-3 before that.
Finally, when it first puts an individual performance that brings it there, it's not some sort of overall read they can continue to use.
And it was more of a mistake, too, not clearing out Van.
Yeah.
That's a good start. The opener from Carson.
Big opportunity, but it's never over till it's over. We've seen a lot of clutches from NRG. They're content to go for a straight site take over towards A as well. Up for Junior. Full rifle surrounding. Good utility on 2. It's beginning to dry up for Nouns. Smoke top con. CJ under balcony is going to be tested early. Molotovs force him out. CJ flashed in, misses the shot. Breeze burns him alive. 4 versus 4. Both ops still in play. Carson playing around the smoke top con is looking for something. Breeze sneaks by though. Carson gifted one, but immediately traded by Breeze. George at triple, trying, doing damage, but can't get anything. It's Rush and Junior, and they're both towards CT. OC taking a shot, misses the first.
15 seconds.
Nonetheless there. 14 seconds. Rush a double again, bailing them out. Breeze now in a clutch. She finds the first and doesn't know about the op. That's it. Junior does keep them alive again, but it's Rush coming alive to really get this round across the line.
Down to the wire and down to the last man standing for Nouns. They cannot afford to win many more like that. They'll run out of funds well before NRG do. Although NRG are going to go for a half buy here. They're not going to risk anything. They have a couple of rounds of buffer, and so they will take advantage of that. And the Tech 9 buy is still not going to be something to slouch at. It's very potent. You can get the bomb down, get a couple of upgrades. The round turns on its head. Nouns must still be careful.
Nothing for granted. Nouns, here we go. Nade prevents them from jumping out. I was going to say, this is an opportunity for those Tech 9s, but no. Now they're stuck at the choke point. Now they're going to be pieced apart easily. OC, the last of the Glock in hand, is caught clean and flawless for Nouns. Perfectly timed nade. Dashes NRG's hopes in that one.
Second timeout used by NRG, and a lot more reasonable to expect the timeout here than the first time it was used in this map. Few rounds now, going back to Nouns, 3 in a row. They'd like to end this one here and now and get ready to face off against Wildcard in a little over an hour. Nouns have money, boosted by that flawless, but it doesn't matter if they have money. They lose a round. AK's only for the T's. Utility, it's not horrible, but it's not great, and they lack a significant amount of flashbangs. Only 2 flashbangs on the entire T side. If it comes down to a take, that is very concerning.
Difficult. 2 smokes thrown mid immediately. 1 for top mid, 1 for window. Carson is here throwing a Molotov top middle. Standard default early on. 2-man lean over towards A from the T side. Hold for aggression. Junior's op. It's on catwalk. Misses its first opportunity. NRG will get control of middle. Smoke top con. This duo lurking out ramp. Spots the barrel of 1. Straight contact. Play cracks open the site. Carson in connector with his teammate in tow. Will find a trade. Will actually double down. The reason the meanwhile drops Junior. We're still at even footing. 3 versus 3. Bomb plant going down. Breeze in towards jungle. Huge for 1. CJ, good trade through the smoke. Next, a lot to do inside this smoke. It stairs.
Here's the noise of the smokes being thrown, the utility being tossed. Doesn't pop through. Instead, plays the backstab angle. 1 and the headshot for the last. NRG, a bit messy at the end, but they close it out on Mirage. The reverse sweep converted and revenge achieved against Nouns. It wasn't clean for NRG in the end, but they were able to do it. Revenge secured, and they move on to face Wildcard.